crafty friends, it's Rick. I'm back for another video. Today we are going to take some older products and mix with some newer products to create a fun birthday card from using Pixi Dust Designs products. So I picked out a paper from the Puppy Love pattern paper pack. I've also picked out a piece from the Happy Easter paper pack. Those are both newer. I'm going to use the Owl Music Box add-on die as my featured image. This is a little older. And then I'm going to use the Birthday Sentiment die set for my sentiment. I think that's a little older too. Along with the Clouds and Grass Slimline Pixi Slimline dies. We're going to use those also. All right, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to build our little owl. So I've already cut out all my little parts and pieces for her. So we're going to layer her up together. So I've got my little owl here. All right, so if you will notice on the dies, I'm going to hold that up to camera so you can see. You can see all the etched lines. That's where you're going to line everything on this layering die set up. So we're going to take and we're going to do our little eyes first. So I'm going to add liquid glue. I like to add liquid glue so I can get everything lined up just right. So we're going to do that first. See, we've got her little beak in there. I've got my eyes. I'm going to go ahead and put the eyeballs down. And those are in two different pieces. My advice is to use reverse tweezers and a pickup tool to get everything in place. So we're just going to line our little eye up in there. And then we will flip that one over and get it the right direction. So there's that. Then we've got our little pupils and our eyelashes. Just like that. So I'm going to add tiny little dots of liquid glue behind that. I'm going to line this right up over the white of the eye. That's why we have that second layer. Then we'll do the other eye as well. It actually doesn't take that long to put this together. And they're actually super easy. If you've never used any of the Pixi Dust Designs dies before, they look intimidating, but they really are not. They're super easy to put together. Put our eye back in. All right, now I've got my little beak as well. So I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue behind it. And I'm going to tuck it right in between the eyes. And glossy cardstock on glossy cardstock might not have been a good idea. All right, now I have the outline of the eyes. And this cuts out both pieces, so you could actually use the inside piece as well for something. So we'll just add little dots of liquid glue on here. And you could step this up even more. I'm going to keep it super simple today. That way it's not as intimidating. All right, so there is our outline of our eyes. I'm going to make sure she's nice and lined up. It just goes right around the edge. And then we have the parts of the wings. So I've cut those out of a little bit darker colored cardstock. So that they show up just a little bit better. I mean, she is in flight, so they would be a little bit in shadow and probably a little bit different color than the rest of her. All right, we got our other little wing. We'll add this. The other side as well, making sure we have that lined up with her body. And then I have her tail. So we'll go ahead and add her little tail. Then we have the parts of her ears that are a little bit darker. I'll just add a little bit of liquid glue behind those. And you have one for the left, one for the right. Her little top feathers. These little details are what gives her character. Whereas some layering dies, you don't get that. That's one good thing about the Pixi Dust Design dies, is that they really give you all the little details to give you the little characters. There's her other little ears. Now I have her little feet, little heart for her belly. And I cut that out of a little bit lighter neutral color cardstock. I didn't want to go white, but I wanted it to be lighter than her body and the wings. I'm going to add a little liquid glue to the back of her feet. I'm just going to attach those right to her. We have 2 of those, so we'll go ahead and just dab, dab, dab. Add on our other foot, add on our other foot. And then she has a little bow. So let's see, it's going to go like that. The big part's going to be at the top. I'll add liquid glue back there. And then I'm going to put it right in the center. So there's my little owl that we're going to use for our card today. So I've also got my sentiment already cut out and some balloons, so we'll go ahead and layer these up as well. This is from the the birthday sentiment set, and you get the stitched outline or stitched shadow and the word die. And there's happy birthday, birthday party in case you wanted to do invitations, and the other sentiment is make a wish. So we'll add this to our shadow layer. And then I'll add my little birthday. I actually had to go back and cut this out twice. The outside layer. When I went and ran it through the first time, I ran it in. Everything correct except the shadow die I ran upside down. So it did not cut out right, and I had to redo it. So there is our birthday. And we've got to have our little tittle for our eye. So I'm going to add just a little dot of glue, and I can pick that up with my pickup tool. And I'm going to actually set all this to the side. We have 3 different strings for our balloons. And I did a pink, a blue, and a yellow. And I did my streamers in that glossy cardstock. So I'm going to add just a little liquid glue behind our little balloon there. And I'll take and attach my streamer under it. All right, so there's one balloon. Next little balloon. Now I'll add these under my block as well, so everything can be drying. And we will work on our background of our card. All right, I've got my top folding A2 card base. I've got 2 clouds that I have cut. I did the top first and then just flipped them around and cut out the bottom so I could get 2 sets of clouds using the stitched Slimline clouds and grass dies. Clouds and stamps, or clouds and grass Slimline dies. I've cut my grass out of the Happy Easter pattern paper. There's a green polka dot that I cut it from. And I've cut a blue polka dot from the wolf puppy, whatever the puppy one was. The Puppy Love pattern paper pack. I just cut that down to a standard A2 size, because I know we're going to layer all this up together. And I did cut it a little bit, the other pieces I cut a little bit longer so that because I knew I was going to cut them off. So we're going to go ahead and attach our grass first. So I can kind of place that where I want it to be. We'll trim off the excess. Before I attach my clouds, I do want to add just a little bit more color to these. So we are going to add just a little bit of distress ink to the bottom of our clouds. Just to add a little color. Since clouds would naturally have some color, I do have a little adhesive there that I can take off with a rubber adhesive eraser. It's going to add a little bit of shadow under here. And then on our other cloud as well. And I cut these longer also because that way I can decide where I want them to be. I could probably have Art just trim some off and just added, cut it into shape. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, so there's that. Now we just need to decide where we want our clouds to be. We're gonna have that one going across the top. We'll have our other little cloud right here. Coming off on this side over here. All right, so there is our background. We're going to take our scissors and I'm going to flip this over. And I'm just going to trim it right along the edge of our card front. Trim along the bottom, just along that edge as well. And the other side. Now I do have all these supplies listed below, in case you wanted to pick anything up. And I can tell you that the Pixi Dust Designs actually having a sale until the 13th on some of the Christmas dies. So you might want to check that out. I think it's 30% off of select Christmas dies. If you're watching this the week this goes live. We're going to add our card front right onto our card base. Making sure that's nice and centered. And for the inside, I have cut another piece of that same blue polka dot pattern paper. We're going to add that. To the inside of our card. And then we can start building up the rest of our scene. First thing I'm going to do is figure out I'm going to put my sentiment on first. And that way I can build everything else around that. That will be the easiest, I think. I say that and it's probably not going to be. So we might hold off. But I am going to pop it up. I know, so I'm going to add some foam squares behind it. So I do want it to be lifted up. Let's see, I think we're going to add a balloon. So I'm going to add a little foam square behind the balloon itself. And I'll add some liquid glue at the bottom. And I'm going to have it coming off this side over here. Then I will add our little blue balloon. Let's pull our sentiment back in so we can get our placement for it. Put it right down in there. Then we can nestle our birthday right there. And we'll have our little pink balloon coming off with this side over here. So I'm going to add foam squares behind my little owl. Cool. Cut a few pieces there in half. One behind her little tail. So we'll peel these backings off. We'll pop our little owl right there. We'll go ahead and add our sentiment. So we'll peel these backings off. And since I have this little half one right here, we'll add that in there. We'll nestle that back into place. And then we will add our last balloon. And I think we're going to let her hold our balloon after we trim that little piece right there off. So we'll add a little bit of liquid glue behind our little stem or streamer, and that way she can be holding on to that balloon. All right, there's a look at my finished card. Closer look at the card. Here's a look at our inside. If you like this video, you're probably going to like the one coming right over there. I'll see you in that video. Bye, guys. Stay crafty. Love you.